Motorsport Radio.
So we're here at the 24-hour Endurance Series, the Touring Car Endurance Series for the first round of the championship this season, the Silverstone 24 Hours. I'm Dan Marr. We've been here over the course of the weekend. Let's go and find out what's happening. So this is the grid. This is how it lined up at the very start of the race. And of course, the pole position went to the number 107 of the Monlau competition car. Not entirely sure what that was. We'll just go with it, shall we? So yeah, they qualified on pole position in the Seat allowance. Of course, TCR cars the quickest here. Of course, we've got GT4 here as well. Also quite quick, but they've got the issue of being limited by lap time, much like the GT3 cars are at the normal endurance series rounds for the 24-hour series. Anyway, this is number 303. This is the Red Camel Jordans.nl car, the Breukers, Grifflowen and Kresnik machine. On the second row of the grid, we've got the number 100 and the number 216. So that is the Team Bleekemolen car, the first of the Team Bleekemolen cars. That's Bleekemolen, De Groot, Smith and Stan Mertz, and Modena Motorsport here as well in the number 216. Now, as you can see, the sun's out, but we don't know what the conditions are going to be doing. If I look to my right, the sun's out, lovely and warm. If I look up to my top, though, it is quite dark, quite black, and quite honestly not looking pretty promising. But that is Silverstone, and that is a 24-hour race. This is just what happens. Anyway, this is the number 312, which is qualified in 6th position. That's alongside in 5th place the first of the GT4 spec cars, which is actually the SP3 GT4 pole position person. That is the Adam Bruschi in the Endurance Autosport Lotus Exige. What you can see here now, though, is the number 144 and the 217. That is the RS Connect and the second of the Modena Motorsport cars. The 144 with, I believe, the Seat Leon, the Hodson, Jones and Stothert car, and the number 217, which is the Seat Leon, the Modena Motorsport cars. Quickly lining up, see if we can get a quick, just having a couple of photographs going before we get on the way. And as you can see, we're getting quite busy here. Of course, that's the brilliant thing about the Touring Car Endurance Series. Of course, you've got a grid wall where everyone, all the members of the public here, can come across and get onto the grid and get loads of great photos and get really close up to the cars, actually, whilst we quickly move along. The number 110 here in 10th place, that will be alongside the second of the GT4 cars, which is the Team ABBA with Roll Centre Racing car. That was the winner, of course, last year. This, though, is the number 110, which is the Let's Drop Racing Team Volkswagen Golf, the first of the non-sets, effectively the 178. This is very familiar to fans of British endurance racing and Ginetta racing in total. CWS, the Ginetta G55 GT4 of White, Salini, Matthijssen and Thomas. If we stay to the right, so far we got, here we go, this is last year's race winning car. So the 234, having to just try and back away. Of course, this car won last year, racing also the Team ABBA Roll Centre Racing in the British GT Championship last year in the BMW Z4, this year in the Mercedes AMG GT3. But this car, of course, so dramatic. First of all, it won last year, of course. So Niall, we've got with you here. How are you feeling ahead of the race?
Yeah, fairly good. Yeah. We were struggling a bit in testing and in qualifying, but yeah, we've found a problem with the car now, so fairly confident.
So what was up with it then?
Just a slight issue there with the inlet manifold, so it was just zapping a bit of power. But yeah, the balance wasn't 100% either. It's the first time the car is out, so the team were doing a great job and managed to sort out the setup issue and the power issue as well. So no, we should be looking good.
And what are you expecting ahead of the race? I know the conditions right now look a bit, well, I don't know how to describe them. You can see, look, massive black cloud to the left, sun to your left. So what are you expecting over the course of the 24?
Yeah, I don't know. I think we are still probably going to be struggling for pace with these guys. We're in a Ginetta G50, so it won't be as quick as the 55 or the BM minus. So I think wet could play into our hands a bit, because yeah, we won't be struggling for as much dry pace. But yeah, look, I don't know what will happen. It's a long race, so I'll talk to you in 25 hours and see how we get on.
Well, hopefully anyway. Of course, the G55 well proven in Creventic racing. It's quick. You guys, of course, GT4s, I believe they've got a minimum lap time they've got to adhere to in the class. So what do you think that's going to be a bit of a struggle compared to the TCR cars?
Yeah, definitely. The TCRs are doing 13s in qualifying, so our best was a 17.4 last night with the problem. So we picked a woman at 18. Means we can refuel by 70 litres due to the weight we have. So yeah, no, it's looking good. Our strategy sounds good on paper anyway. So look, yeah, we'll see how it goes. We really won't know until a couple hours time and see how things play out, you know.
I'm assuming is this the first time you said you've been the first time in the car. What have you experienced with the Ginetta so far then? Very little. I've never driven anything with this much power before, so yeah, it's a huge jump in the deep end for me. I've never driven for longer than 20 minutes before either, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. And again, in testing, it was great, and we've got on very well. The first time in a car like this, first time on this track, and we were quickest GT4 last night in the dark, where our lights weren't really working properly, but I didn't know any different because I'd never driven in the dark before. So yeah, it was. Look, we'll see how it goes. So are you starting the race then, or are you getting in later on in the day?
No, Melroy Heimskirk is starting. Sven van Laer will be second, and then I'll be third. So don't know exactly what time. Probably about between 7 and 8 o'clock. I'll be in the car.
Okay, well, thanks very much for talking to us. Best of luck. We'll come and speak to you in a bit, see how it's going. But it should be an interesting race anyway. Oh, marching band. Got a marching band coming through as well. One of the many great things about Creventic is the sort of... Actually, Niall, I'll quickly ask you, Niall. Whilst obviously got the marching band coming through, Creventic's been very well known for the sort of family atmosphere and the fun kind of racing they get. What's your experience of the meeting so far? Have you seen why people enjoy this style of racing and racing with Creventic in the Touring Car Endurance Series?
Yeah, no, so far it's been great. Even going to sign on, and you know, everybody's been great, and driver's brief, and it's been very, as you said, friendly atmosphere. So yeah, I don't know how well it'll be a couple hours into a race when everybody's, you know, the competitive side of things come out. But yeah, no, so far so good, and it's been great. Yeah.
Well, great. Thank you very much. We'll come and speak to you in a bit. We'll see how it's going.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Niall. So, if we carry on, we've got the 266 on the same row as well. That was in 12th place, 9th in the TCR class. That car being driven by Wimmer, Winchenberger, Gasser, Wiseman and Kaiser. Then we've got, I think, the first of the Audis, which is the number... well, this one's the number, 122? Okay, well, the 122 and the 102 next to it. The Arnold Batera Filippini and the Vescovi car. Also the 102. I'm looking at the moment the Holger Motorsport, the pit lane competition car was the Audi RS3. I think that's the first RS3 on the grid actually. Then we've got a little bit of a retro vibe going on here. We've got the 248, which is the G50, Ginetta G50, which preceded G55, the CWS car's G55. This is G50, which will be running. This is Niall's car. Okay, so obviously that's the car he's running, and Hirschberg, Lyons, Murray and Van Lever car. And 121 alongside that. Now the 140 is the first A3 car, which is the BMW M3 CSL. That will be for Clark, Haynes, Black and Lindsay, and that's looking very competitive indeed. That's run quite well in the past here as well. Another one alongside it, which is the second of the A3 cars, is Core Ursa Racing, Brody, Klutz, Ursa, Mus and Ferrano. Then we got another one of the GT4 cars, which is the BMW 1M, the 137 for the, if I'm looking at this correctly, the Morris, Nern and Armstrong. Just 3 drivers in that car, so the way the driver regulations, driver times are running could be very interesting indeed. Also alongside that is the 105, which is the Zest Race Car Engineering, Sarah Leon in the TCR car, Taylor Miller, Allen and Bergstein. First of the Cup 1 class, which is for, as the marching band comes through once again, this is the first of the BMWs, the Cup 1's the BMW 235i. It's commonly seen in the Nürburgring actually, as you can see, the marching band coming through. So today's company, that is the first of the Cup 1 cars. That's De Bruyker, Timmersgillen and Van Hooydonk in the 154. Alongside them, we have, if I can quickly flip my piece of paper over, the Synchro Motorsport car. Been running for a few seasons in Brick Car as well as Graventic. That is the Synchro Motorsport. That's James Wheeler and Byford. Another one of the 3 driver cars.
Yeah.
And again, driver regulations is going to be the interesting one. That's going to be talking points throughout the entirety of the race. 120 litres that fuel tank. Then we have got in 23rd place is another A3 car. That was another A3 car as well. This is in 4th place in A3. The Accelerate Motorsport car, the Mini F56 JCW, most commonly seen in the likes of the Mini Challenge, which will be racing alongside the British GTs in a couple of weekends' time. That has got Bladon, Hall, Lemmer, Smith and Kelly. So 5 drivers in that car, all very well known in the Mini Challenge. Then we have got the 156, the second of the Cup 1 cars. That's the RMA Track Days JJ Motorsports car. That's going very well indeed. Clarkwood, GK's Little and Baker within that car. Let's carry on moving down the grid. The 3rd place in Cup 3, or Cup 1 rather, will start in 25th place. That is Sorg Rennsport for Abercrombie, Lucas, Wheatley, Ellis and Tordoff. See if we can go and squeeze our way through now. And yes, so this is the Sorg Rennsport car number 151. And Sam, if we can get a quick interview. I've seen you twice this week, you and your Striker Racing one now. So you, I believe this is the car you raced at the VLN a couple of weeks ago,
no.
Or similar type anyway.
Yes, similar type, different team this weekend with Sorg Motorsport, and just getting a bit of practice in the 24-hour.
So let's start with Graventic, of course. Well-known sort of touring car endurance series, Silverstone. So you should hopefully you'd know the circuit a little bit. Of course, national circuit for the British GTs, British touring cars. Rather, if I get that right. How's the circuit been for you over the course of the weekend?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. I've done bits and bobs around here on the full Formula 1 circuit, Super Cup and various things over the years. So I know the track fairly well. And obviously being in England, local to home, it made sense to do this one. If I was going to do a bit of 24-hour practice, then this was the perfect opportunity.
And of course, you were entered earlier on in the year with Graventic for the Dubai 24th. That didn't go to plan, as we've heard before. So this should be your first, I think, full experience of a 24-hour race. How do you think it's going to go? I mean, it's too early to call, really, but what are you expecting anyway? Yeah,
I'm expecting to get around and have a good race. The car is very good, should be reliable. I've got some 4 great guys with me whom I've just met for the first time this weekend. They were all basically here to have a bit of fun and enjoy ourselves. For me, personally, I need to drive at night, so I'm going to do all my driving through the night.
Okay.
Basically, they're going to put me in the car at 9 o'clock at night, and I'm not going to get back out till 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, and they can all sleep.
Yeah.
So that's the plan. This is really for me to practice at night ahead of Spa 24-hour later in the year.
And of course, it's with BMW. So I think your 3rd mark this year. You got obviously an affinity with BMW. How is the 235i handling around Silverstone? I know it's sort of designed mostly for VLN and Nürburgring, but how is it sort of working around here?
It's a great car actually, and a very good car for amateurs drivers to learn in. It's quick enough, very safe, doesn't do anything too unpredictable, and very easy to drive. And I've driven this quite a bit, through my years of driving for BMW in the touring cars. I've drove this a lot, taking guests around, and obviously I've done a bit of VLN in it as well, and I really like it. And I think it's a car that should be reliable, touch wood, and should hopefully take us to the checkered flag tomorrow.
And of course, you said you're going to be doing, I think, all of your driving through the night. The drive around regulations, I think it's 2 hours maximum you're allowed in the car. So
yes, I've got to do 2 hours on, and then I've got to be out of the car for an hour and a half. So I'll be doing alternate stints all the way through the night.
And of course, the Silverstone 24 is not well known for the fact it's been dry throughout the entirety of the race. So, looking up conditions being wishy-washy like normal for Silverstone, really. So it's going to be, how difficult do you think it would be in the night? I know you probably did, I'm assuming, a bit of night practice last night. What do you think the conditions will have to play if it does start chucking it down?
If it's raining, for sure it's going to be difficult. The weather forecast actually is quite good now. I think there was a bit of chance of rain middle of the day today, and after that through the night and tomorrow it looks very good. It looks like it's cleared already. It's really nice at the moment. But to be honest, if it rained, that's even better practice for me, because the chances are at Spa it probably will rain. So hey, it'll be what it'll be. I've just got to bring the car home.
Of course. Well, thanks for that, Sam. We'll come and have a bit of a catch-up later on in the race. We'll see what's going on. So best of luck to Sam there. So that's the 151. They qualified down in 25th position. 26th then is A3 Mike Moss in the Moss Motorsport UK car. That's BMW E46 M3. Got a garden gnome here. That will be for the number 91, which is in A2, the first of the A2 cars, which is the Arena Motorsport car. This is with Jack, Fabby, as well. Fabby, Swift, Vincent and Harris. We'll go and ask about the gnomes in a minute, actually. We've got the pages right.
Cheers, Matt.
Hi, Jack, how you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Excellent, I'm good, thank you. So, of course, first of all, I'm going to have to ask about the gnomes. What's going on there?
I'm not too sure either, to be honest. I've just been approached by Marshall with a gnome, so I'll just take it and smile, I suppose. But yeah, nothing. Well, I don't know what's going on, to be honest. But just enjoying the moment, and it's first for me. It's first for a lot of people here, so I'm just gonna take it as it goes and see what happens.
And of course, the car's qualified on pole for the A2 class. How is it working around the Silverstone Grand Prix track?
Yeah, brilliant. And me and David, another driver, have never done the 24-hour race. We've hardly not even done the GP circuit, so we've done a little bit of testing before this weekend. Well, not this weekend, really, just in the test days yesterday. But my night pace is really good. Everyone's pace is brilliant, to be honest. But I'm happy with my night pace, especially. I think I'm going to be doing most of the night stints in the hard stuff in the night, and then I'm going to let Carl, the other quick driver, and David, who's also really quick in the daylight, get the car out mid-afternoon and get some good laps at times out there. And but saying that, it's all about just staying consistent tomorrow. It's not one on the first corner, it's not one on the first lap, it's one on the last lap on the last 20th hour. So it's going good so far.
So what are your expectations with the car then? Obviously it does look well prepared, it looks to be going fairly well. You said that you're confident in your pace, in the nighttime pace, in your driving, the rest of the team. Do you think it's going to last the whole race, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. We've put a new clutch in and all sorts of things like that, just to make sure the car's fresh for the race. We've had no serious problems with the car, just had a little bit of a noise issue which we've resolved in testing, and we're happy that the car will do the 24 hours. The only thing now is just keeping it out of gravel, keeping it out of any dangers of other cars. At the end of the day, hopefully it'll be someone else that unfortunately has an error or coming off, where hopefully just get a nice pace, get away from the other cars, and then just pull away for the next 24 hours and take the flag at the end of it.
Well, of course, there's only 2 entries for A2, which the Arena Motorsport car has been entered for. So, are you expecting much in terms of going up the field, in terms of the other cars going off as well?
Yeah, we were really quick in the night against the A3 cars and a couple of the Cup 1 cars. Carl's, who raced last year, was really quick in the night, especially in the rain as well. So hopefully we can move our way up the grid. That's the main goal, but first we need to finish. So we're going to try and finish, be in front of the other car, and then be in front of anyone else we can be.
Alright, well, thanks for that, Jack. We'll come and catch up with you a bit. Do you know who's going to be starting the race, actually?
It'll be Carl Swift starting, it'll be Mark Harris second stint for 2 hours, and then I'll be doing Into the Darkness for the third stint.
Okay, great. Well, thank you very much, mate. We'll come and catch up with you shortly. And best of luck to the Arena Motorsport guys, as well as everyone else. So lining up against them in 28th place is another A3 car. That's the St. Leon Super Copa. That's the 138, actually. Vanquish Motorsport car. That's Plant Cresswell, Yarwood and Littman. And that means we can then move on to the final row of the grid, which is the final Cup 1 car of Duo Racing. Jean-Marie Dumont listed as the starter on that car. That's Dumont, Weishlick, Harris, Watt and Wilson. Final car on the grid, the number 52, Team Sally Racing, Renault Clio Cup 3 of Penderson, Obel, Christensen and Yas Young. So that is your lineup for the 24-hour race. 30 cars on the grid, and with any luck we should hopefully have them all running at the end of the race. So we'll find out what goes on at the end of this one. It's looking interesting in terms of weather conditions. You blue sky up there, black sky up there, clouds up there, anything can happen. It's Silverstone, it's a 24, anything can happen.